everyone, this is Yvonne from yvonneceramics. Today I'm going to show you how I make a set of speckled plates. First, I need to roll out a slab using speckled clay. I have wooden sticks on either side to make sure my slab has the equal thickness that I want. I rolled out my first slab and realized that the slab is too small. So right now I'm rolling out a second piece of slab which I'm going to use to connect these two pieces together. I'm overlapping the pieces together and then roughly using my fingers to join them together. I want the final piece of slab to be big enough to make a plate. Then I'm using my wooden rolling pin to flatten the slab together. After finish rolling on one side, I flip over and roll on the other side to make sure the slabs are nicely joined. The slab is still looking a little bit small, so I need to join a third piece to the slab to make it bigger. I have a wooden bat at the corner as a reference to see how big of a slab that I need. After rolling and flattening out the slab, I use a wooden rib to compress the clay and also to make sure that there's no joining lines. This piece of slab is a 1/4 inch thick, which I think is a little bit too thick for the plates, so I want it a little bit thinner. I'm using 1/8 of an inch sticks right now to thin out the slab. After thinning it out, I'm using the wooden rib to compress the clay. I'm also using the wheel to smooth out and compress the clay even more. Right now I'm putting on Pottery Form's wheel attachment. I'm using this attachment system to make my plates. First, I'll put my slab on top of this mold, and then I'll compress it down lightly. Then I use a wet sponge to press it down even more onto the wheel. I'm using a needle tool to trim the outline of the plate. This is a foot maker tool that I use to make the foot for the plate. This foot maker tool is really helpful because I can make a consistent foot with this tool. After getting rid of the excess clay, I will use the needle tool to lightly draw out where I want the foot to be. Then I use my needle tool to lightly score the area and apply slip on top. Finally, I'm putting the foot on the areas where I scored earlier. If the foot is too long, you can just use a needle tool to cut off the excess and then join the foot together with some slip. I'm using a wet sponge to compress the foot down so it sticks to the plate. I want a small rim for the plate, so I'm going to use a needle tool to cut the rim in half. I'm spinning the wheel slowly because I want to make sure the rim is straight. Now it is done. I'm propping the mold off from the bottom. After letting the plate dry for 1.5 hours, I'm putting it back on the wheel and pushing the rim up. After altering the rim, I also use a needle tool to cut off the top to make sure the rim is straight. After bisque firing, I'm applying a simple glossy white glaze to make the speckles shine through after glaze firing. Here's the final result, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you next time.